2024 is right around the corner, so let's figure out what kind of goals we should be setting for our reselling businesses. Hey everybody, my name is Karina. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and I also own my own brick-and-mortar consignment store. I am here today with Vendoo to share with you guys some tips for creating goals for the new year. Before we begin, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to Vendoo's YouTube channel. We put out videos every Friday sharing tips on how you can grow and scale your own reselling business. Alright, let's get into the video. First, we need to choose our goal monthly sales. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using a sales goal of $5,000, but feel free to replace that number with whatever feels good to you. If you're not sure what your monthly sales goal should be, I recommend looking at previous months or previous years and finding an average of what you've done and maybe increasing that by just a little bit to challenge yourself, but know that it is still actually something that you can achieve. You can also use this to factor in like a monthly profit goal. The equations and the way that we're figuring this out is still going to be the same, but whether you're aiming for a certain sales goal or a certain profit goal, you can still use these same equations. So first, I'm going to take my sales goal of $5,000 a month and I'm going to divide that by 30 days, because on average there's about 30 days in a month. Obviously there's more or less in some of them, but that brings me to approximately $166 a day, meaning that as a seller I'm going to have to make $166 in sales every single day of the month in order to achieve that goal. Now that I know I need to make $166 a day, I can take that number and divide it by my average sale price. If you don't know your average sale price, you're going to take your average monthly sales that you've done in the past and divide it by how many items you sold, and that's going to give you your average sale price. So hypothetically, if my average sale price was $20, then that means I need to sell approximately 9 items a day at that $20 sales price in order to reach my goal. Once you reach this part of figuring out your goals, I want you to really be honest with yourself and decide if that's actually something that you can manage. This is where we're going to figure out what kind of goals we need to set for ourselves. So with all of these numbers that I've been using in my example, I will have to sell 270 items at a $20 sales price in order to reach my goal of $5,000 per month. And 270 items can be a lot depending on what your situation is. So now I have to think to myself, can I source, list, process, photograph, and ship that many items in a month? Maybe if you work a full-time job or you're a full-time student, you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, if you have a lot on your plate, that might seem like a lot. So maybe your goal instead of selling that many items is actually to increase your ASP or increase your average sale price, which means that you'd be sourcing items that you can actually sell for more and profit more so that you don't have to process and list and sell as many items. So say if I just double my average sale price and now my average sale price is $40, I would only have to sell 5 items a day, which means I would sell a total of 150 items a month, which honestly seems a lot more manageable to me. And the more you increase your average sale price, the more that you will be able to lessen that load. Maybe you have no problem sourcing your items and you can find 270 items easy, but maybe getting the items photographed and listed is the hard part. Maybe your goal is to find a VA or somebody that you can hire to bring onto your team to help you process all of those items. Maybe your sell-through rate is really low and you aren't turning over as many items as you're bringing in. Then your goal here could possibly be to cross-list to new platforms or try new platforms or new avenues for selling your items. Maybe your goal is to try wholesale, invest in a reselling course, hire a business coach, or anything that may involve a large investment upfront. In this case, your goal may be to increase your monthly sales goal right off the bat so that you can save more money so that you can make these kinds of investments. Now that you kind of have an idea of what your goals are going to be for the new year in order to help you increase your sales goal or help fix these other areas of your business, you need to make sure that your goals are SMART goals. If you've never heard of a SMART goal, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. You want your goal to be specific, meaning instead of saying, I want to make more sales, you need to decide on a specific number and deadline. For example, I want to make X amount of sales by this date. Next, you want to make sure your goal is measurable. Can you track how you're doing? Having a program that helps you look at your analytics, like Vendoo for example, can help you stay accountable and see your growth over time. You want to be realistic with your goals and make sure that they are attainable or achievable. Trust me, I am a firm believer that being Delulu is the Solulu. However, when it comes to goal setting, you want to make sure that you're setting parameters that are challenging but still possible. Also, it's really important to remember that just because somebody else can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you can. You guys probably have really different situations, really different backgrounds or foundations. And so it's not really good to compare what you're doing to somebody else just because you guys live two completely separate lives. Your abilities, your capabilities, your strengths could be completely different from theirs. And so you want to focus on what you are doing versus what anybody else is doing. The next trait of a good goal is to be relevant. Similarly to being attainable, you want to make sure that it's a realistic goal and you want to make sure that it's actually related to your job. For example, if you want to grow your online reselling business, but your goal is to do in-person markets, you might want to reevaluate. In-person markets, even though they may seem like a really good marketing tactic, take a lot of work and can actually take away from your online reselling business. Trust me, take it from somebody who's actually done the whole balancing of an online and a in-person sales method, and they are two completely separate businesses. So while they can hypothetically feed off of each other, they won't both be able to thrive just because they both take a lot of work, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Lastly, you want to make sure that your goals are timely, meaning that you have to give yourself a deadline for when you want this to be accomplished. Without a time boundary, you're just going to keep pushing it off, you're going to procrastinate until half the year has gone by and you don't have anything to show for all of your hard work. So now that you have your SMART goals ready, you are ready to tackle the new year. I hope this video helped you in prepping for your 2024 New Year's resolutions for your online reselling business. Don't forget to subscribe down below, hit that like button, and I would love to hear what your goals are for the new year. Comment them down below and we can keep each other accountable. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!